What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video, and I have some good news and some bad news for you guys there. But let's start with the bad news. Liverpool have another injury. The fantastic midfielder Arthur, the reason he didn't play against Rangers is because in the last training session Arthur Melo pulled a muscle, so he could be out for a week, maybe 2 weeks, so hopefully it's not serious. Jurgen Klopp confirmed this in his pre-match press conference, and we will have all the other injury news, and also Jurgen Klopp will talk about in this video on new formations that Liverpool are trying to become more unpredictable. And this is especially interesting because Liverpool play Arsenal on Sunday in a blockbuster showdown in the Premier League, and it's a really hugely important game that could shape Liverpool's season. So Jurgen Klopp said we have one new injury, it's Arthur Melo. In the last session before the Rangers game, in a normal situation, he just injured a muscle. We have to wait for further assessment from the medical team to know exactly how long it will be. But he's out at the moment, so it looks like Liverpool are getting some injured players back, but Arthur is injured at the moment, which is really a shame. But Curtis Jones is the closest from the Liverpool players who were out injured before the Rangers game to come back in contention for Arsenal. Jurgen Klopp said Jones was in training yesterday, it looked good, but that's just the first session. He is probably the closest out of all the injured players. They are in a good way, they do big sessions. Andy Robertson is the next one who is closest. He will be probably available after the Arsenal game, so for the Rangers game in midweek. Naby Keita and Ox are still a bit away. Robertson is running a lot, looks like he's close. Probably Curtis now is the closest, then Robertson, and then the other two step by step. So that's really good news. I think that apart from the Arthur Melo injury, the other players who are injured are getting back to full fitness soon, and Curtis Jones and Robertson will be very welcome into the Liverpool squad. And once Liverpool have a fully fit or close to the fully fit squad, I think we will have more consistent results and performances. The big question, what formation should Liverpool use against Arsenal? Let me know in the comments below, just comment your formation for the Arsenal game. I would tend to go with the 4-2-3-1 formation because you can actually put 4 attackers on the pitch, plus have the defensive solidity, and maybe have Thiago and Fabinho as 2 holding midfielders, Henderson on the bench because Henderson still is not convincing me. He's not in good form, and also tell Trent not to bump forward all the time, just like against Rangers, because Arsenal have Martinelli on the left wing. This is what Jurgen Klopp said on the change in formation and whether it is the plan for the future. For us, it's much more important that we become unpredictable again. We need different systems. This is not the only system we can play. It was now a 4-4-2. Always when you name systems, is it 4-3-3, 4-5-1, or is it 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1? We don't want to make it more complicated than it is, but there are obviously different systems for us available, and we have to choose from now on which one is the best for the next opponent or the best for us in the moment. We have to be more unpredictable, definitely. And Jurgen Klopp also was in high praise of Arsenal, who again won yesterday against Bodo Glimt in the Europa League, and Arsenal are having an amazing season. Nobody really predicted Arsenal to be top of the Premier League at this stage of the season. He said, all my respect to Arsenal, Jurgen Klopp said, really good job. When you need some time, nobody wants to give you time, and maybe not all of us deserve time, because you still have to be good to use the time, and that's what Mikel Arteta obviously did. All I have to say, really lots of respect for it. They had a lot of talent already in the last few years. Martinelli, I was very early excited about him because he became exactly the player I expected he will become. Martin Odegaard, I spoke to him when he was 15 from Norway, when the whole world wanted him, and he decided to go to Real Madrid. I remember as it would have been yesterday that we sat on a table with his dad and we were all so excited. Then came a few difficult years, which is normal when you are that much in the spotlight. So he became the player everybody expected him to become at that time. Saka from the first day, since he's playing, it's incredible. And Gabriel Jesus, if anybody knew how good he could be, not in a Man City shirt, in the fixed number 9 role, number 1 in the lineup if you want, then it was Mikel, because he worked together with Gabriel Jesus at Man City. Same with Zinchenko, so great things, both Xhaka back on track, Thomas Partey, everybody knew how good he is when he was at Atletico. The last line is now really well settled. They found a way how they want to defend. Last night obviously they played a different lineup, but still lots of quality. It's a young team, a very exciting team, and doing really well. And they are in a position that they are in is well deserved. Now we go there. Obviously we don't think about the games we played against them last season because it doesn't make too much sense. We will try to cause them problems. I think that makes sense. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, last season Liverpool pretty much beat Arsenal in almost every competition. There was a draw at Anfield in the first leg of the League Cup, semi-final I think, but otherwise we have beaten them without even conceding, I think. So it was a really awesome like 4 games against Arsenal last season. But this season Arsenal are a different animal. This season Arsenal are not a meme team anymore. They are much more serious, well coached, well organized, lots of very exciting young players with great talent, and they are very hungry for success and they want to finish in the Champions League at least, but they will try to push Man City all the way. And I think Arsenal are in the title race. I don't think they will win the Premier League, but I think they will push Man City maybe until January, February, March, depending on how many of the Arsenal key players stay fit or get injured. If Arsenal got a few injuries in key positions, like for example if Gabriel Jesus gets injured or if Saka or Odegaard gets injured, I don't think they have as good backup players as their first 11 obviously, but they still have a really good team. But Liverpool are also on the up, and I think after the Rangers game Liverpool should be in full confidence. It will be a really tough game, but I believe Liverpool have the ability to win at the Emirates. Also, Jurgen Klopp is very happy with Bobby Firmino's form, and remember in pre-season Jurgen Klopp said Bobby is back, the world-class Bobby Firmino is back, he's back fully fit and raring to go. And the goals he scored against Brighton were absolutely outstanding. Those are Jurgen Klopp's words. But for the game against Rangers, Jurgen Klopp thought it didn't make sense to play like that, and we play a lot of games. So Bobby is an incredibly important player to Jurgen Klopp and to the Liverpool team. And Jurgen Klopp said, I'm happy with his goal scoring record so far, hopefully he can score a few more goals. And Jurgen Klopp was asked, have Liverpool been found out, have teams worked out how to play against Liverpool? And his answer I think is very interesting. He said that teams worked out how you can play against Liverpool when they are not at their best. Other teams have worked out how to play against us since years, Jurgen Klopp said, but it still didn't work out for them because we were exceptional in the moment, in the things we did. In the moment when you are not exceptional, then it looks like, oh, now they realize. No, in our best games I could show you the parts where we could have got problems here and there. We didn't because we put so much pressure on the opposition, they just couldn't find these spaces. That's the risk you take in a moment when you don't play on your top level. These gaps are still there. Then they played the pass through, and now we look like now they know how to play against them. Now it was always clear, whatever system we play to the best of our abilities. There's no system in the world with no weakness. Play with 5 at the back, 3 in the back, 4 in the back, no one in the back. There's no system that is faultless. It's about how we perform, it's about what we did and with which intensity we did it, and these kind of things. That changed everything, because defending in a 4-3-3 or a 4-5-1, just if you look at it, you know where the gaps are, but you fill them with your movements, and the gaps are not really existing or are only open for a wing, and you close it again. That's the way you have to play. There is no system we can rely on and say, okay, from now on this is perfect, because we know how to play against other teams. That's how it is. You see how they play usually. That's the problem with us. Most of the time teams changed system. Arsenal will not do that now. They believe in what they are doing 100%. So we know how to prepare for Arsenal in the end. It's how we execute it. Jurgen Klopp makes a good point. For example, Brighton really surprised Liverpool because they didn't know what kind of tactics they will employ, because they just had a new manager, and that new manager with new ideas, new formation, new tactics, Liverpool couldn't really prepare for that. Also Liverpool of course didn't start too well, but in the first 20 minutes Brighton were really surprised Liverpool. But after that, after Liverpool settled into the game and figured out how Brighton wanted to play, it was much better. Still defensively not solid enough, but hopefully that will change. And Jurgen Klopp said that for the way that Liverpool defend, you need to be brave. We come now back again to how our fullbacks defend usually. We jump with our fullbacks to the fullback of other teams. It was great when we win the ball, then we put them under pressure, but if you are not in the right moment, they just pass the ball past your fullback, who is then obviously not in his position in the back line. You all in the outside world would tell us then, you cannot defend like this. Oh yes you can, we did it in like 200 games, but when the timing is not right, you can't. That's true, that's always the case. If you are late in a challenge, there's actually no challenge. That's in all situations the same. That's how obvious football, how you do that. Sometimes you have to do a step aside or a step back or whatever to get the timing again. In our case, we don't talk about, we wanted it last year with a 100% and this year was only 80%. It might be that the boys wanted 100% but maybe put in only 97, but not consciously, just in these decisive moments. Yes, because things didn't work out right. Some players had to play too early, some players were new, some players were young, and all of a sudden a well-drilled team didn't work together anymore. But not willingly, just because one was a bit, oh, can I really push up, and the other one was already there. Pressing doesn't work like this. You commit to pressing and you do it. You don't press or you only decide defensive press around your own box, fine, but you have to commit to a common plan, and that only works if everybody feels the same. And that might have been a little bit the problem. We were not all in the same place in that moment and all in the same confidence levels for doing these kind of things, because we all had different solutions for the same problems. And yeah, it was pretty evident, especially against Napoli for example, that Liverpool tried to press, but not all the players pressed in the same way, in the same rhythm, in the same intensity, so it fell apart and Napoli could play through us. And that happened in many other Liverpool games. Hopefully Liverpool will be a more well-oiled machine against Arsenal. And Virgil van Dijk also said something interesting after the Rangers game. When you are in a difficult moment, everyone wants to sort the situation out as quickly as possible, and that's not always easy. You want to sort it like today or tomorrow and get everything as good as possible again, because the consistency we showed over the last 4 or 5 years, that's something that is the most difficult part in football. And if you are not doing it right now, then obviously you get the criticism that you deserve. But it's also a little bit that we set the standards so high that we know we are under some pressure if we don't perform to that high standard. That's why we have to stick together, be there for each other, work even harder. And you see today great spirit in each and every one of us. And it was a well-deserved win against Rangers. And Jurgen Klopp said that he wants to keep more clean sheets, and the outside world of course discussed Trent Alexander-Arnold. Obviously the criticism we all got could have happened, but for him he just had to keep his head down. He showed against Rangers his quality again, and defensively he was there as well. So hopefully we can keep that back line going like this and defend and get a clean sheet against Arsenal. And Jordan Henderson also said that the Rangers win is a step in the right direction, which is really, really good. Overall the performance level was really good. We got to be really happy with the win. But it's Rangers, it's not a big team like a traditional big team in terms of the strength of the squad like Arsenal or Man City. So Liverpool need to perform as well or even better against Arsenal if we want to get a result. And Henderson said Arsenal are flying at the minute, so we need to be at 100% to even have a chance of going there and getting a good result. We need to take the Rangers game, build on it, and try to be even better on Sunday. That's exactly what I said as well. And that's it for today's update video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. A brand new Liverpool Career Mode episode is coming later today, so check back on my channel later this evening. Thanks for watching, have a nice day. See you later guys, goodbye.